Hey, hello. How are you? Moms, dads, kids, whoever is watching. This is another Boss from Home series. This is Nicola Smith Jackson. And I want to let you know that I've been so enjoying bringing to you these bosses from home. You know, when you begin to think about how vital it is now to know that you can work from home, that you can have time freedom, that you can have time with your kids. Some people are like, take them away, but at least you can if you want to, right? But more importantly, we want to talk today about these moms making money moves because we know that it is extremely challenging in this world right now when we begin to think about securing your finances, doing something that you could be proud of, that you know is not just a hustle, that you got long-term goals for while you're meeting your short-term goals, as well as to be a mom. You know, there are literally 15.5 million single moms out there, right? There is 1 in 4 households that have single parents in there. But what about the households with multiple parents where they're working all day, still going from paycheck to paycheck, where you're just passing the kids by in the kitchen or passing them by, where we don't really get to know our kids? Now, I was one of those moms. I was a hairstylist for over 20 plus years, had multiple salons. Then I went on into real estate and insurance. Obviously, these were things that I thought were going to be great ways for me to earn income. And it is. They all are. But what you need to understand is when you begin to now design your life, yes, you can do that. No matter how crazy it sounds, because I just wanted to be home where I can cook breakfast in the morning. The kids come back. I'm still home if I wanted to. I didn't want to have to leave my home every day. Guess what? Believe it or not, I like to stay in pajamas. So even the clothes I wear every day feel like pajamas, even if they're not. That's a joke. You'll see me. I always wear soft feeling things. And I always wanted to just be able to be on my deck when I wanted to. I'm a sky watcher, all these crazy things I had. And I said, I want to do that and not have to worry about money. Now, to anybody else that I knew at that time, they sound like, girl, you are just dreaming. But why not? Why are people not dreaming anymore or believing dreams can come true? Now, I can tell you, these are some women that all of us, we all have stories. Our life was kind of like a nightmare before. It was some crazy stuff going down, but they made a decision. And so what you want to know is that these ladies are just like you, only different. They made some decisions. We all are, and they're shaping our life. I want to introduce to you this first mom making money move. Her and her daughter are doing it together, and that is so admirable. They travel together. They actually have won company trips together. They're making money together. I want to introduce you to Miss Idrissa Marshall. Idrissa, how are you doing?
I am fantastic. Thank you so much for that warm welcome. I really appreciate all that you do for everyone, including us.
Yeah. So, Idrissa, why did you decide to be a boss from home? What was going on before you got into the industry and you became a boss from home?
Well, Nicola, for me, I've always been in the corporate world. Over 20 years doing corporate, working 40 to 65 hours per week, trying to provide for my family. And exactly what you just said, being away from my babies. I have 3 children, 2 teenagers looking at everything that I do. And it was really killing me to be away from my children morning, noon, and night. But we do what we have to do to take care of our babies and our responsibilities. So that was really what my struggle was.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, and so how was that? Working, what'd you say? 35, how many hours?
40 to 65 hours per week.
Okay, hold on now. Do you have to drive to work? How you get to work?
driving an hour and a half to work because I work in a different state.
Now hold on now. So you got to add that time on, because some people will say I work 40 hours, but they don't count the 2 additional hours every single week that you got to get back and forth there. And some people, like you said, an hour and a half. So when you get home, what does that look like? Because I know you have a young baby, a boy, younger boy, and all I have is boys. And then you have the 2 teenage daughters. Now, hold on. My mother took me to the shop with her after school just so I couldn't be a normal teenage girl, because they can get hot, can't they? I'm real. They can kind of grown, get a little stiff in themselves. And so mama's got to be home. So do you have anybody at home helping you?
Well, I do thank God I had my mom here with my babies, with my children as they were growing.
The mom. I love your mom.
I appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, I love her.
Yes, so I did have that strong backbone of my mother to be there and really step in my position while I was at work making the money. Yeah,
well, that's good, because my mom told me when we started having them babies, them your babies, we meant it. Like it was like you and the kids come over once they can eat and feed themselves. She always come and love on them, kiss on them, but she was not doing all of the stuff like how I do as a grandma. She wasn't that kind of grandma. But guess what? She told us what it was, but it did not change. Our kids are extremely close to their grandmother. She just said, and I'm being real, because there are some people that'll be lucky enough to have some help, and there are some moms that won't have any help.
Right.
And so what happened once you became a boss from home? Were you already experienced in the industry?
So I have done network marketing. I dibbled and dabbled before as a side hustle, but never really, full throttle.
Why didn't it go full throttle any other times? Because I hear a lot of people say that. My first time trying it, I went all the way in, but I didn't know how to do anything else because I needed to make some changes. But tell me, why was it a side hustle those times? Because some people just want to make an extra $500 to $1,000.
Well, for me, I have high expenses. My babies are very, very expensive as well. So for me, that side hustle, it wasn't enough money for me. And maybe because I didn't have the mentorship, right, to lead me in the right path and lead me in the right way. So that up and down money wasn't enough for me. And I just said, you know what, I'm just going to stick with corporate when I have a definite paycheck, even though it was a little paycheck to me. But that's why I just said I need more money.
No, it's okay to say your palate was a little bit richer than what was coming in. It's okay, because that's called desire. That's just the indication that something needs to change. That's okay. Sometimes, and you see like how hesitant you were with that, because we were taught that if you say that, like you're trying to be high and mighty, or that means that you're just doing too much just because you want more out of life. Well, at the end of the day, most people don't know behind the scenes. They don't know when you're making arrangements for your phone bills, or making arrangements for the utilities, or if your kid gets sick, you can't even hardly take off because that you needed that money to pay the rent or what have you. And so when you start to think about that, it's okay to say more. Very few people are even courageous enough to lay out and know exactly how much their bills are every month, because they can't meet them every month. But I want people to imagine something who's watching this. Imagine that at the beginning of the month, no matter what's going on, that you can take out your checkbook and write every bill. And the reason why I say your checkbook is because that means you got time and you send it in and it gets there on time. Like imagine now on the 25th of the month before the bill due, that everybody got their money. You're not paying any late fees, not accruing any additional interest on your bill. What would that do? How would that change some things? And this is what has happened to many of the women who have decided to be a boss from home, because they said 82% of women who earn 6 figures or above are doing it in like home-based businesses like our type of business. So what happened when you got serious with your boss from home deal?
Well, I had a conversation with my family, my mom included, and let them know, listen, this is it. They didn't believe me. They was like, oh no, it's probably another one of those things. I said, no, this is it. This is it. I'm going full throttle. I'm resigning from my corporate job, and I need you guys to really be supportive of me, because I'm going to be still taking away some time, but believe me, it's going to help in the end. So I had a conversation, and they said, okay, I'm with you, full throttle.
Wow, that is crazy. I know that they didn't believe you because, believe it or not, as serious as I am, my mom didn't believe me either. The first time, 12 years ago, we were working in the salon together. It was my salon. However, that was mama, right? So it's like, it's not your salon, it's whatever she say. And it's funny enough because one of my prior clients is on here too. And I was telling everyone in the salon, including her clients, because she didn't believe me. And she told me one time, would you just shut up and go do your client? We are working. So that tell you, so you know I get it from my mama. She said, go be quiet and go do your client. You being unprofessional. And I'm sitting here saying, okay. And then now I put her on and I start working a leg for her and she got a $10,000 check. Now she starts tell you what did Nikki tell you what we was doing? She got her $10,000. Gloria, did Nikki tell you? Nikki, tell her what we doing. Now is what we doing. Look, I want to go on out. What has happened now? What has happened now? That's just how family is. You gotta love them. What has happened now? Because you have had some massive milestones. You hit some massive milestones. What turned around for you? You said the mentorship, but you know, I always like to tell people that ambition cannot be bought and hunger cannot be taught. You got ambitious, you got hungry. We know some things that happens when you're trying to hit those milestones, and some people just give up and quit because it gets hard, doesn't it?
Yes,
it gets hard.
Yes,
but you and your babies, what has happened? Because you and your babies, we've been cruising, all kind of stuff. Tell them what happened.
So for me, I'll be very honest with you. I am very hungry. I want more for just not me, but for everyone I come across, my family, friends, and associates. So when I started saying, okay, this is a good thing, and it's really changing my life because, like you said, you have now the income to take care of those bills. So no more agreements, right? No more late pays and all of that stuff. So when I started seeing the change, I said, oh, this is really real. Listen, I need to go ahead and let everybody know that you need to be doing this. Either you with me or you not, and I went full throttle with it, and I went fast, full speed ahead. And let me be clear with you: life happens along the whole time you're doing it, your journey.
Yeah,
life happens. Challenges come across. You know, things happen with your family, but you really have to have that drive to keep pushing forward. Pray through it, and I tell everybody, listen: if you don't do it, who will?
That's right.
And I'm really serious about that.
That's right. Because you're a single mom, right? And so, you know, single mom can even still mean that you have a significant other, but I feel like, you know, when you have children that may or may not be biologically someone else's, we still have a responsibility.
Yes.
You know, you can't be a liability in a relationship. I'm just always going to be real with that. Robert and I came together as a blended family. And even though the reason I married him, because he used to be like my hero, I'd be like, I got a flat tire. I don't even know where he was coming. I don't know if he was stalking me or what. He'd be like, oh, I'm right up the street. How you up the street? I don't know. Even to this day, it seemed like he'd send me out like, oh, he know exactly where we are. It'd be crazy.
That's right.
Yeah, I remember a whole nother story. Like we were at Disney. And it was a joke. And somebody was like, there go Robert. I was like, no, it's not. That was a joke. It wasn't. Then they joked again. I said, stop playing. And it was him. I'm like, now how you find me at Disney? This crazy. We're not together. I'm like, boo, you scare me. Go ahead on. But I married him anyway. Okay, so anyway. Anyway, this is what I want you to think about. Life. You got a 6-figure ring from the company. You've been on multiple company paid cruises. You just earned the company vehicle, a Benz. Now, this is like crazy.
Yes, it is.
I can turn around. He's like, can you put the G-Wagon on my promotion? I said, G-Wagon.
Right.
I need a truck. But how does that feel to be able to just say, this is what I want and I know how to go get it? It may take me some time. It's not get rich quick, but I know what I want and I can go get it. How does that feel?
It really is amazing to be able to be in a position to get what you dreamed of, what you thought you could never achieve. You know, you're working towards achieving something, and for it to really be happening, manifesting into reality is unbelievable. And it just gave me confirmation, like, Idrissa, you've been doing the right thing the whole time, helping your family, helping your friends, and helping your associates, helping total strangers get in a better position and truly, really be rewarded in the end.
Man, you know, I love you. I mean, I love your whole family. When I see you, you'll have your mom, you have your daughters with you.
That's
you
right.
know, they're so well respected. They're so respected. I mean, oh my gosh, it's like you guys are a dream as far as from friendship. And when you start thinking about that though, what if we didn't say yes? How else would we have met? You're all the way in Jersey. I'm all the way in ATL. How would we have met? I've met some of the best people in this industry. And so, and the unity, the family atmosphere that, you know, can be created. And you got to create that. It's not in every company. You know, I don't talk dreams. I always talk real, no hype.
Right. That's
but
right.
definitely hope. And that's the thing. It's so powerful. So what's your next plan and goal? Because you working, baby. You going at it.
Nicola, I don't know anything else but to work and go full throttle. You hear me? I know nothing else but to do it and bring everybody else with me. How about that?
Be excited on this day.
That's right.
I love it. Go get it. You know, my t-shirt, my shirt say "Get it done."
Oh,
that's the tagline.
That's you.
My shirt say "Get it done." Okay, y'all know that's the thing. Get it done. I love it. Even on this day, I love it. So I thank you, Dree. You know, we love you so much. We're going to go right here in ATL. Now, this young lady saw from the beginning because she was my client. And I'm talking about every Thursday, she would come in the salon. And then later on, I found something. And people thought I was kind of crazy when they were like, you're going to stop doing hair. You just been doing this thing 5 months. But when you quadruple your income in 5 months versus when you was into something nearly 20 years, it just say, okay, well, I'm gonna do a little bit more of this over here. It just makes sense. And I'm like, I got my license still. I could go back and get booth rent somewhere. You know, how about that? Now, let me ask you, I want you all to think about this young lady that, you know, at the time when she started this, she was a single mom. Challenges happen where, you know, it happened to me, be a single mom, and that's not what you planned. However, what do you do at that moment? What do you do at that moment? You might be in a setback, and she was, but let me tell you something. Sometimes the setbacks are the best things that happen to us for us to come back. And so I want to introduce to you all this amazing boss from home. I mean, heart of gold. She is definitely a mom of 2 amazing children. And being a boss from home has given her a lot of benefits. I want to introduce you guys Toy Jones. Toy.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear
awesome.
you.
Awesome. So
Toy, why did you become a boss from home? You saw me from the beginning. We used to, you know, do the hair. You're like, okay, I don't know about this on my first go round, but this one, you were like, okay, what was the question you asked?
Well, I knew if Nicola was doing it, this was it.
Well, I can tell you this, what was going on? Because it's always something going on with all of us, right? What was going on at the time? And what was life looking like? Because there are a lot of people, even though, you know, holidays, whatever, things are not so great. And then people feel like this is just what it is. What
right. So I was actually at a low point in my life. I had moved in my grandmother's home. My granddad had passed, so it was just my grandmother at home at the time. So me and my kids moved in, and I had also lost my job. So, you know, being a single mom of 2, it could be devastating. It's like, okay, what do you do? Your kids are dependent on you. So you got to try to make the right decision. So when the opportunity initially was brought to me, I was like, I don't know. I don't think this is for me. And then I'm like, okay, let me just try it. What do I have to lose? I already don't have a job. I had already previously been living check to check, so didn't have no money saved. And then I also had challenge credit. So, you know, the world we live in, if you got all of those things up against you, at least if you got credit and no money, you might can leverage a few things. But if you ain't got credit and money, oh, you doomed.
Absolutely. Because this world is not kind to people who don't have good credit. As a matter of fact, you know, it's a whole nother conversation, but those algorithms have changed. So even people who are paying their bills on time, credit scores are going to take a dip. In the meantime, they're going to be looking for jobs who running credit checks before they decide to give it to them. So when you start thinking about that, no cash, no credit, now that's a double whammy. But there's many opportunities that can help you out of that rut. When you begin to think about that, you know, people, you either got to have experience, they want a resume. Can I tell y'all a secret right here?
Yeah.
I never had a resume.
Oh, Lord.
Ever. I've never, ever had a W-2. Can I tell y'all a deeper secret? Kroger wouldn't hire me. That was the last place I tried to get a job when I was. They wouldn't even have the only person that would hire me was my mom. So y'all wonder why I died for my mom. She was the first person that even believed in me to hire me. I was her shampoo girl and everything, you know, and I don't know what that was, but nobody would hire me. And I was like, okay, my friends were getting jobs. They were getting new cars. I remember my friend had bought a brand new Mercury Tracer. It was brand new off the lot. That is cool. You in high school, a Mercury Tracer? And when I had to get mine, I was going to college, I was like, okay, I took my student loan money and bought me an old Volvo 240. It was oxidized on the roof, on the hood. And that little boyfriend at the time, he got it all painted up all nice. And I said, ride good on the highway, but it was old. And I rode in that car. People to this day, I said, I like big cars. You know, it's the back seat. You can lay down in the back seat. But I tell you one thing. That thing right there, I was trying to find parking down there at Georgia State. I said, parking more expensive than the car. I'm about to quit college. Okay, we're going to move on to the next story. So tell me, Toy, what happened after you started, you know, I can remember you're like, I'm not speaking in front of nobody. You're like, what do you get? I'm going to give you a script. And I'm like, ask them for the money. You can tell this is really the spot right here. Let me act right, because y'all know how I get when I get sleepy and it's in the middle of the day. So tell me, what happened? What happened when you got serious?
When I tell you, like, people see who I am today, and I've had a lot of growth. I was that person, like, I'm not speaking in front of no room. I don't even want to be in front of the room.
Exactly. And I'm like, you going to the front of the room.
Right.
It's your turn. You like,
oh my gosh. You know, and now people are like, you don't even seem like you're afraid. Even now, I still get sweaty palms. But it was a huge transition. I can still remember the day you were like, okay, your time. And I'm looking like about to literally cry, like, I don't want to do it. But, you know, it's part of that leadership muscle and the growth. You just got to do it. You got to step out. Even if you're scared, just do it scared. And I used to always tell myself, like, you know, people need to hear this information. Just do it.
That's right.
And, you know, when people see, like, you're one of the leaders in the company, they miss the part of seeing where you came from, right? Your growth. I didn't just arrive. I had to go through a lot of grooming to get where I am today.
That's right. That's right. And you gotta, you were extremely coachable. I remember once you were in my kitchen and you were doing a call with a client, and there was a gentleman that was sitting, next to us that he enrolled one of our mentors. And yes, we go back and get our mentors. And then he was listening to you speak to the client. And he said, well, and I'm listening to you too. And I'm like, that sounds exactly like what I said. And I said, oh, it's about to get serious now. Next thing you know, you get the company car, you on company trips, you went all the way to $500,000 a month in sales, bought a home. You tell your own story, child. Let me get on. I'm sitting up there like, I'm like, whoa.
Right.
What happens when you give yourself permission to go? But tell them about some things with your kids, because when I started seeing you, your talk about your babies. I mean, you got a track star. I mean, you have a bow nose. I know like he played good basketball, football. I'm like, where's little husky self going with track and ball, honey? He all into it, right? So
today he on his fishing.
Oh, so now he's fishing. Well, Katie loves fishing too. We got the pond right there. We love fishing now. Now I don't know how much money fishing, but we might could turn that into a network marketing company. We gotta stop acting up because we only got a little bit of time on this thing here. Y'all know how I get. Okay, so tell me about that, being able to travel and be at your kids. Tell us about that.
So it's just a beautiful thing for your kids to experience both sides of the spectrum. So they went through it with me through the struggle, and now they're on the other side of the spectrum where they don't have to want for anything.
Right.
I can even, like with my daughter, she is a freshman on her track team, but she's like one of the leaders on the track team. And one of the coaches met me and he was like, I see why you're a leader over here. He was like, because of your mom. And, sometimes you don't see that your kids are always watching every single thing that you do. Right. And, I'm grateful for her to be able to see both sides, to know, even though you up, you can go back down.
That's right.
You don't want to go back there. And
that's right.
It's just amazing. Like Imani that's my daughter's name. She has a full ride, so I didn't have to pay for college, which is beautiful. But she's trying to graduate early. So she texted me and asked if I would pay for her summer school because they don't pay for any extra. So it was I was grateful to be able to just have it to give to her and not say, well, girl, we gotta wait a few weeks. Money is due, I think, like on Tuesday, and I'm able to fork out money to pay for 2 classes. I remember, and that I don't say that boastfully. I say that in the most humblest way to just stress to everyone that's on the live right now. If I could do it, if God could use me, little old me,
child,
he could use any one of you. He just had us 4 go first.
That's right. That's right.
It.
I was at mom's house today. She the only person that still do her hair. And I went over there to give her a haircut, and curl her up, and we talking. And she'll say, oh, my little girl, I just wanted a little girl, because I have 2 brothers older than me. And she said, I just wanted a little girl. And I think about you. I just prayed for God for a little girl. And I said, you prayed for this sassy little girl? She's like, no. He said, they used to say, that girl's so grown. That's what they were saying when I was growing up. I was just asking a lot of questions, and I was just very outspoken. And she would tell them, she's not grown. She's just outspoken. I used to remember her saying that. So I'm like, she gave me permission to be outspoken, except to her, because you say she'll be but the thing is that when you can think about, and I can think about those days as a kid, my mom having to boil hot water, even though she was working a job in the day and she was working at service merchandise in the evening. And so I had to learn how to cook early. So 12, 13, people say I cook like a grandma because I've been cooking a lot of years. I've been cooking a long time. And now that same thing I used to have to do for my family to secure things that my mom couldn't do. Now it's like that's all I was dreaming to do, was to be able to cook when I wanted to or whatever, because that's what my grandmother used to do. That's how they showed us love. They cooked for us and the family could eat. I remember, I think it's because it's almost making me a little emotional, because I think that food was what brought our family together. Like anytime it was food, people come, you know, everybody, they come. Food, they say, come make money. I'm not sure. They say, we got some food. Everybody come. Now they asking you, can I come? I ain't getting no invitation for the food, but they don't care about the money. But now you bring them on over and we would break bread together. And y'all know how that is for me. You know, I'll cook and have team over. I love that serving standpoint. And I can think that that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to be able to cook and be in the kitchen. And I could be in the kitchen like a half a day and miss time. But the thing is that at that point with my mom, to be able to say no matter what, she just lost her mate of 25 years. And, you know, my son is 25. Savon is 25. And I can remember going from the pots, boiling pots, to becoming an entrepreneur, owning her own salon, went to 6 figures, lost everything, filed bankruptcy, everything. And I was watching that as a kid. And I'm saying she was doing everything right, but some part of the puzzle wasn't there, and it was residual income. Because it was, if she didn't go to the salon to work, then there was no money. Or when she picked up a whole nother salon and the people decided that they didn't want to pay booth rent, there was no money. So I remember saying linear income, even though you owned your own business and she owned property and all that, I was able to connect that dot, that residual income. I needed income of me having children that would be sick. I needed an income that would still come in even if we were sick, or even if someone couldn't go to work or what have you. I've seen, and we saw the news where a mom left her kid in the house just so they went to work, to go to work. Now, I know they're like, what kind of mama is that? But she's sitting there as a single mom. I'm not telling nobody to do that. But I'm saying sometimes you're thinking like, okay, if I don't go to work, we're going to be on the street.
Right.
So if I can take the chance and go and get money, but what if you can do it right and you in the next room?
Right.
You in the next room. And so what would you like to say? Because so many things have changed. And sometimes we'll even take it for granted, because when you do it for a bunch of years, you just think that life is like that. But it's not like that for most people. It's not like that. Most people do not have good credit. They do not have a budget. They do not have any extra money outside of. They are making arrangements for their bills, and they feel they don't have any experience or anything to offer. And I've seen people in this industry, even me, I mean, all the mistakes I've made in my life, and how God's able to say, okay, let you lead through the people. I'm like, lead them through what? Problems? Because I had a whole bunch of them. I know how to get you out of a problem because I had a whole bunch of them. I'm like, what's the problem? Oh, I know how to do that. Tell me, what would you like to share about, you know, don't be laughing when we get backstage again now. What would y'all like to share? Because we about to roll up into our next sister. What would you like to say to end?
Well, what I would say is none of this is hyper hope. These are real life people, real stories.
Yeah.
Look, we weren't paid to hop on, but we're just normal, regular people that decided to do something different. You know, you're just one decision away from a totally different life. And think about it. If we hadn't have made the decision, I think about that sometimes. Where would we be? Where would we be? Like, I'm just super grateful. And, you know, I can remember last year, the end when it closed out, And I was like, I didn't make what I wanted to make, and I was, down a little bit. But then I had to check myself like, hold up. You still made more than you've ever made. You tripping. Like, so yeah, I had to check my own self. Money started getting real good, and you're like, hold on, I want some more of that. But I had to, check myself. And that probably was the Holy Spirit that checked me, like, hold on now. Snap out of it.
I remember when you said, what would you like your goal to be? And then we're going to go to the next sister that her goal was the same thing. And you said, I want to earn $10,000 a month. And I looked at you and I was like, okay, let's break this out. And you looking at, your eyes went like, oh, we could. Yeah, let's do this.
Right.
Don't be coming now. We're going to do a webinar. You're going to learn exactly what we do, and we're going to send you the links. But don't try to come to us talking about you have some lofty goals and you don't want to put in the work.
That part.
You just think about this. We're going to remind you, how much work do you put in at your job now and how much do you get paid? Now, sometimes we're in the wrong industry where you could just switch industries with the same work ethic. So if you was just scrolling down Facebook and Instagram at your job and they kept paying you, they're not going to do that over here. How about that? I want to go over. We put in the work, but we are moms making money moves. I want to share. I love you guys so much. I love you so much. Your families. I'm telling you, I love you so much. Look, let's go over. We in Jersey, right? Both of us. Oh, this is like the Brady Bunch. Me and you on this side in Atlanta, and now we over here in Jersey, right? How did this set up like that? Now we're back. We're in Jersey, and we're all sisters, and you can tell it, right? So when we start thinking about this young lady who, even at this time, is super hard. It's super hard. People are wondering, like, why are you smiling? You lost your stepdad. And then you're looking at her like she's just laughing back there. Why? Because I don't know. She can tell you, but I think that when you're in a community where you know people got your back, you just feel like it's going to be all right. And we're here for you, with you. And I told her, you don't have to hop on this live. If you're not feeling it, it's okay. It's not going to make that big of a difference. But I said, it'll be cool kind of to let people know how things can be when things are tough. And I want you guys to meet this boss from home, like true boss from home. She is doing some heroic stuff. She don't even know it. She's like been like my favorite hero, like the love she has for her family, her kids, the things that we all share together. Like we fight through it together. So when we have our wins together, they like bomb.com. So I want you guys to meet Miss Danielle Carlton. Danielle.
Hey.
Hey. I know we miss you too. So when you think about this, we got to do all the girlfriend stuff. We do the sister stuff when we get off because they're going to be like, how long this live going to be? So we got to ask you, how did you become a boss from home? Why did you do it? And what have you been through and what you got going on now?
Okay, so first I want to thank you for having me on. And I want to say she absolutely told me that, sis, you do not have to get on, there'll be other times. And I thought about it and I called her back. I said, no, I'm going to do it. And one of the reasons why I said I have to do it is because one thing that you have taught us is how to persevere and also operate out of an authentic place. And for me, when you do something and you're showing other people how to do it too, and you're pushing them to channel through some of the things that they're going through, you want everything you do to other and say to other people to be authentic. So I can never, ever tell them to push through if I couldn't push through. So it has to start with me. So here I am. And so, I decided to, boss up and, be a stay-at-home mom and try to juggle and do it all. Because for me, a little over 4 years ago, my husband and I actually decided to move out of state where we had tons of family in New Jersey. We moved to Pennsylvania. He said, you know what? You could stay at home with the kids while I traveled back and forth to New Jersey to go to work. He was making great income, but life happened. One life happened where he got ill. And so, he was working, she said 65, he was working 90 to 100 hours a week, one person, to make sure that he could provide for me and the kids. And so it took a toll and a strain on him. And count our many blessings that he is well, but it did take a toll. And as a parent, it's not even just the bills. It became, the kids' education was added into their bills, activities, all these things started becoming more than the money. Even though he was trading all of that time for money, it was becoming more money needed. And so I wanted to help. I wanted to know, how can I help contribute so he could cut back, and that it could make things a little better for our kids. Because one thing that we always promised our kids, if you get good grades and you do what we have to do, we'll make sure that we do what we have to do as parents to make sure that you can go to college and do the things that you needed to do. And so that wasn't just something he told the kids, that's something we told the kids. So I had to play my part. And so that's really why when you presented this opportunity where I could make some extra money and still be home, it was a no-brainer for me to just do it. And that's how I got started, and even why I got started. And actually, that's the very reason why I keep going now, because you shared something with me a while ago. It's like, do some things so not just that you can experience, but you can help other people experience. And this opportunity has been such a blessing and a change for my life in so many ways, because you never know, when you first brought this opportunity, I was just thinking about my household at this time. And then we was in a training before, and it says, well, think about everyone that's dependent on you. And when I really started to dive deep and really think about everyone that was dependent on me, it wasn't just my husband, my kids. It was people I've never even met. It was my mom, because I'm an only child. So it was my mom. It's my grandparents, it's other people. And so when you start thinking about all those things, those are the reasons why even today I keep going. So hopefully that, everything that I do, I can show someone else how to do as well and have some of the same experiences.
Yeah, because when you think about it, I remember that was Eric Thomas at one of our team trainings that told us, like, think about who's depending on you. And that I needed that too, because, sometimes it get crazy. I'd be like, Audi 5000, this is just whatever. And at the end of the day, because I'm just going to be real, I don't know how to do nothing else. And you sit there and say, well, what will happen? What will happen? You winning, I'm not leaving till I see some more people winning. I need to see some people winning at my level. I need to see more. I mean, like, when I think about that, and I'm like, how God always downloads all these different things on me, and I know that it can't be for me. You got to dream bigger, and you got to dream sometime for other people, because they don't know this other side. They don't even think it exists. They think it's fake. And so now, when you now have been able to, take care of so many things, when your baby boy went to college, you was able to take care of things. And then now you have like your baby in cheer and all that stuff. Because someone cheerleading, now that's an expensive sport. Now, if they say it's a sport, I said that thing costs more than football. I'm glad I got all boys.
Right.
Almost like an expensive weave, like an expensive front, like Beyonce lace front. That thing is expensive. So tell me, when you start thinking, I'm seeing them. I was like, oh no. See, my sister did cheer. I was a straight A student. My mom probably was glad that I ain't want nothing but, going to make my own money, because that's expensive. I was seeing her jump, and I'm like, all them jumps is worth that, but you just got to keep them active. So tell me what happened to you, because you have like blossomed. You and Toy both, your business do like $500,000 in sales a month. And when you start thinking about that, that's a lot of people. What happened to where you went from, I had these small goals, it was about me? Because some people just be thinking it's about me, especially if you're ever a mom, you're giving out so much and you start wanting to say, what about me? What mom hasn't said that before? Mm-hmm. What about me? Who's thinking about me? And then now you realize that it's way more fulfilling when you can think about others, because it even help you get through hard times. Right now, your grandma, you've been there. You at the beginning, months ago now, you've been there and you were a caregiver for your grandmother and grandfather who raised you.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that, because every day when I hear your voice and I'm hearing how you go, I'm like, you.
So I want to say, in regards to that, it is you don't even know the gratitude that I have for you introducing me to this, because just the fact that I can be here for my grandparents is super important to me, because my word on something, and when I give it to my friends and my loved one, my word is everything. And I remember being little, and we used to always, I say, Grandma, Poppy, when I get older, I'm gonna take care of you guys. And you never know that you're going to be the one that really have to step up and do that. But I'm just so happy that I said it when I was young, and I remember saying it all the time to them, I'm going to take care of you, no worries. And now that they could be peaceful, they could enjoy life, and I'm helping take care of them. I have gratitude. I'm so grateful that I am allowed to do that, without stressing over taking care of my own household with my own kids. And it even gives more gratitude because my kids are able to participate. Like, I'm here, but I'm not here alone. I was able to bring my kids up from Georgia. They participate. Like, everything we do, when we do as a family, like my business, my family helps. My kids are part of my business, and even caretaking with my grandparents, to raise kids where they are learning entrepreneurship, but they're also learning humility and how to help and give towards other people. That is like huge to me. So, all I can say is this working from home, you don't understand. Some people always think about the money, but it's not even just about the money. The money is just a big bonus and a plus, but it's also about the freedom to really be home with your family, and to have the freedom to do what you want and take care of them at the level that you want to take care of them, not the level that someone gives you permission to take care of them. And so for that, I'm extremely grateful to work from home and be here when they all need me.
When you don't even have to leave and you can be there, no money is coming in, and you can still meet goals. And, like even, Toy, she purchased a home, and you're about to get your home. And when you start thinking about these milestones, it's like my mind is blown. I am so honored to even be a part, to even see something like this. It's some people, they go through life and the experiences, they could say, oh, I traveled here, I did this, I did that, or whatever. But for me, it's the impact. It's how does somebody else's life change or transform? And just to be able to see it, to where now when you'll see a life and they'll come in there like, I'm nervous. I'm like, oh, we got you. Mm-hmm. We got you. Oh, we know exactly what to do. We have so many stories where we can say, check this person out or check that person out. And it's an honor. So we're going to go and we're going to, share with people later on all what we're doing. They can get a link to a webinar, learn, whoever shared this with you. We took a minute because you know what? There's some people who got to go. But guess what? There were some people that were at home. They didn't know what the next move was going to be. There's some moms out there that the refrigerator is empty. There's some moms out there that even though they were giving out certain types of help, they didn't qualify, even though they should. And it was for you. It was for you. Get with the person and have them, send you the link to go deeper. I just wanted you to meet these bosses making money moves. I'm so proud of each and every one of y'all. I am blessed to even know you, to be a part of your life and your growth. This is like, it's surreal for me because I'm thinking that if I didn't, anytime I would even think about a complaint, Robert would be like, do you want to go back to the shop? And I just snap myself back up and be like, girl, get your little act together, girl, and stop it already. I love y'all so much. And we'll see you guys soon. Get with the person, right? They're going to tell you more, but you got to do something. Come hang out with us. We are just as crazy like this in person, but we get it done. See y'all later. We get it done, right? You saw Dree, she like, yeah, we get it done.